Welcome back to another episode of Southside Struggles. If this is your first video, be sure to check out the rest of the series at the end of the video or on the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a like and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications if you want to be notified when the next video drops. In the last episode, we were able to finish a game out against the Kansas City Royals. I apologize for the video quality there. The game or the recording software that I use, OBS, updated in between me finishing that recording, and it really screwed up everything. So hopefully I got it corrected in this video. I was gonna go back and record, but honestly just wanted to leave it as is and just move on. Again, I've mentioned before that the first 5 videos were all recorded around the same time before posting. So this will be the 5th video, I do believe. And after this, it'll be going to more of a schedule release, probably 3 times a week, maybe only 2. It'll be sometime. I'll note that somewhere on the channel or in the videos to come. But hopefully I'll be able to get at least 2 videos out, if not 3 a week. I play this game a lot, but finding some time to record and edit and do all that jazz and stuff, it may be difficult. Kind of bang these 5 videos out pretty quickly, so luckily I was able to do that. So in this episode, we are going to be taking a look at, first we're going to take a look at Garrett Crochet. I mentioned in the past videos that I want to have a way to give players pitches as they develop. I'll have to look at a way to get players around the league up to date, just because kind of unfair if my pitchers have 5 pitches or something, even though they started with 3 or something like that, and everybody else's rookies are limited to 3 just because they can't develop them in franchise, which is one of the worst things that the developers have left out. I mean, honestly, how can you, you develop many pitches throughout your career as a starter. So he's going to develop a cutter. That is what we're giving him. Not my favorite pitch, not super thrilled about that, which would have been something like a curveball, but we're going to live in the air of reality. So looking at Baseball Savant, I'll go back to here in a second. We're going to give him 92 speed on his cutter. He averages 92.2 on that, so we'll go a little low. So 75 to 71 is cutter speeds. That's at 92, so we're going to set at 72. Control, I couldn't find anywhere on Baseball Savant that really gave you, accuracy or something like that of his pitches. Balls in zone versus balls out of the zone or stuff like that. That's not something I could find. Maybe there is something, but I just was not able to locate it. So that's unfortunate. So we're going to go with 78. If you look here, his control of his circle change and slider at 90s, like around 90, but his fastball is only 70. So I decided to go a little bit in between that. His put out rate has been fairly high. I think it's 75% on the cutter. So you got to have a little bit more control with that to be able to pinpoint it where you want it. And then break, looking at Baseball Savant, he doesn't have a lot of break. It has a little bit, I think it has more vertical than horizontal. I don't think that is a bad pitch per se. Obviously, there's a little bit to be desired, but that's what we're going to roll with. Obviously, his stats off of last year were based off of Baseball Savant last year, but this year he's been throwing a little bit more cutter. It's his 3rd most thrown pitch at like 14.4%. His circle change actually is the least thrown pitch in his repertoire, so it's kind of interesting to look, especially since he's been throwing that one for so long, and he just now picked up the cutter. So we'll save that. Doesn't change his overall or anything, but we do get that 4th pitch like I've been wanting. And I don't know if I showed this last time. I probably did not, but Luis Robert got injured. I think he's out for a week or 2 with the MCL sprain. Super, super unfortunate. He actually just got injured in real life. And it was just the most weird. If you watch the game at all, he's just rounding first base, steps on first base, and the next thing you know, he's limping and he's hobbling on his left foot. So that is super unfortunate for not only us, but also the in real life White Sox. He's been hurt on and off throughout his career. You can see hasn't played a full season yet of 162 games. I mean, 2023 was close, 145. He was probably limited just because he has had a history of injury. I mean, 21, 68, 22, 98 games. He's only played above 100 that 1 year in 2023. So maybe we look to limit him a lot earlier season, especially now that he's injured already once. We don't want to lose him for a long period of time. But we'll look into that more so down the line. So getting in here, we're going to be playing. We're going to simulate closer into the end of April, and we're going to play against a game against the Twins. I'm in Minnesota. I think it's in Minnesota. Oh. That was an accident to simulate, but we're coming over our first situation. We're going to go ahead and enter this. Kopech, 2 on, no outs in the top of the 8th. We're trying to hold them here as we are up 1 run. But we're going to simulate to play a game against the Twins. I could play a game against, the Royals again, but I want to try to get a broad overview of everybody that we play. I don't want to just play, multiple games against the same team and almost back-to-back videos. As Jonathan India gets one up in the air, and we are not able to bring that one back. I don't think we would have been able to, even if we had good timing. As Kopech gives up a 3-run home run. Kind of a throwback to, I think the first video. No. When I recorded the first video when the audio was all messed up, Kopech also gave up a 3-run home run. So we're not doing too hot with him on our personal track record. A little bit to be desired. So, not to be rudely interrupted by Jonathan India, but we're going to be playing a game against the Twins today, and then we're also going to be pitching, taking a look at our pitching prospect, Noah Schultz. He has a start on the 18th, unless something goes crazy. So we will be taking a look at him today just to get an overview of how he's doing. He had 1 start earlier. He might have 2 starts by now, but he had 1 start earlier in the season, the second game of the AA season that we weren't able to take advantage of because I completely forgot that he was the second pitcher in that rotation. So instead, I think we took a look at Edgar Cuero for that game because we did Colson Montgomery in the first one. Or maybe we did Edgar or Colson Montgomery in that one, and then it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter, but we will be taking a look at him in this video. Honestly, depending on how long it takes to get through that player lock pitching, we may not get to the Twins game, and that may be the start of our next video, but we'll see as we get closer to the end of this video. We're already 10 minutes through here. As Kopech is up 1-0, has gotten 2 outs after that 2 home run. I think he got 1 strikeout and a pop out as I was kind of mindlessly pitching while I was going on that monologue there. That one's going to stay foul on a bad pitch inside. Lost the circle change there. Benintendi will be able to get a put out here in left field in the inning. Unfortunately, we did throw away that lead there. Let me know in the comments if you all would prefer to see me finish out games with situations like that. So like, once I get into a situation, if you all prefer me to go ahead and finish that game out, or if you all just want to see the situation, good or bad, and just keep simulating. I've always just kept simulating because the whole point of that is to get into moments that are, high importance. And once the moment's over, it's kind of like, okay, going back to simulating. I would have simulated this game anyways if it wasn't for the fact that there was a pivotal moment in the game. So we'll see. I can be convinced either way. I'm not too caught up on it. But for the first couple games, we will definitely be doing just the simulating through and just only hitting the moments. And once it goes below the threshold, we'll be backing out. As we get a 4-pitch walk. And we load the bases. Not going to have a pinch runner, especially since the bases are loaded. What's the point? As Andrew Benintendi has a chance to become a Chicago White Sox regular season legend here. Not really a legend. I don't think anybody's going to give him super big props for hitting or getting a winning run at the beginning of the season, especially since we are already like 4-10, 4-11. Jokes all around.
The White Sox down to their final strike.
He is able to pop one up over the shortstop's head, but it looks like they will be able to make the play.
And he makes the
And the
catch.
Reds will take home the W.
Take the first 2 games of this series on the road.
On a bad beat so far. I think we lost, depending on when this game was, this could be our 7th loss in a row. 6th loss in a row, possibly. 6th loss in a row. Not looking too hot. As we're going to simulate through the 17th, we would love to take a look at our scouting prospects. I didn't mean to scout him. I do believe this guy is our pitching scout. Yeah, Bobby Miller is our pitching scout, and Felipe is going to be our fielder scout. And we're going to scout Luka Talbot. He is, looking at this, one of the best prospects in the draft. Hopefully nobody scouts him and we're able to get him for us, but we will see. Could have changed that from west to central because there's only one guy. We don't want to scout just one guy. So we'll go ahead and scout. Hopefully see if we can get more people scouted in the central division. As we continue simulating here, we do get a win as Grant Taylor has a elbow injury and will be out for a few days. Going to keep simulating. And let's go ahead and get into this one as well. The Royals back again. We are bases loaded in the 7th inning. You gotta say no outs. 1 out. 1 out. Hopefully we can get a ground ball double play here. That would be amazing to get out of this jam. But walking someone is not what we want to see to start it off here. And it looks to be like we are inching ever closer towards that as the catcher tells him to settle down. We don't want to walk in a run. So we get strike number 1. As he's able to pop one over the second baseman's head, and Schultz will not be able to make the play, but he will hit the cutoff man as Michael Garcia is able to drive in too. Unfortunate. But we had to make pitches that we probably wouldn't have typically. As we get out number 2 as they also score a run on the put out at first. Yeah, we had a throw pitch down the middle basically just because we were down 3-0. Tough to see as we give up 3 runs in the 7th. But we have a chance with Fletcher solo home run and 1 run scored on an error. Gavin Sheets up to bat. Nobody else out. Bases loaded in the bottom of the 8th. We can easily get this one back here if we're able to put one just even deep into the park. As a hang of 12-6 curveball.
Don't be surprised to see them come home first and prevent that run from scoring.
Another fastball right down the middle. Another meaty pitch that we weren't able to turn on it late again.
Go-ahead runs are aboard here in game 1 of this 3-game set. That pitch just misses the inside corner. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Movement in the bullpen. John Schreiber preparing to come on if needed. Struck him out looking.
As we strike out looking, oh man, that was a good pitch. Right at the knees, hit the black. Can't complain, that is a strike. Good call by the ump, but got a little swing shy as I thought it was going to drop way below the zone. But he fooled us. Good pitch by Nick Anderson there.
And the pitch. And that's outside. And 1-1. In the air, left field, Isbell on the move.
As I catch one, and I'm not going to run on it. I don't think we were going to be able to make it. It would have been close. But I didn't want to risk throwing this situation away in case we are able to get a hit. As Dominique Fletcher having a 3-for-3 day comes up to the plate. As he hits one right to second base, and they'll take the force out at second. So unfortunately, we are not able to capitalize on the bases loaded situation. But we do tie it up as Stasi hits a solo home run in what looks like to be the bottom of the 9th inning. Critical moment in the game. As there's 2 away here and 2 on. Stassi's going crazy. Not an everyday player. Switches off and on with Maldonado. But maybe he's making his case to be put on the card every single day. As we strike out. Number 42, not sure what it is, but he strikes out looking, as he will take the slow walk back to the bench. As we are able to get the win off of Schultz's single, RBI single. We win 4-5. As we save Michael Kopech from a loss. We are able to save him from a loss and be able to get the win here, which is super, super critical as we have turned it around here and won 2 in a row. Going to activate Luis Robert, but he will definitely stay on the bench for a day or two. Alrighty, getting into the big portion of the video. We're going to be player locking as Noah Schultz. I've already gone over him a few times before, but Noah Schultz is the 6'9" lefty out of Illinois. I think it's Illinois. Maybe I'm getting confused with our other prospect. But he is 6'9", lefty pitcher on the mound. Just a towering stick man out there. He's also very, very skinny. But hopefully he will be able to come into the majors here in a few years. And I would just tell you, he's Randy Johnson-esque. Skinny guy, look at that build. 2 starts, 12 and 2/3 innings. ERA is not bad. Whip is honestly good as well, below that 1.4 threshold. Strikeouts 13, strikeout rate is 25%. So that is good to see. As we get his first pitch of the day, as they take a bunt, but it is foul. Just look how tall he is comparatively to everybody else on the field. He towers over everybody. He honestly does remind me of Randy Johnson. I mean, just hearing stories and watching the gameplay back in the day as we strike out the first batter of the day. But just hearing stories and watching gameplay of Randy Johnson, that man was so scary to go up against, I'm sure. Just, I mean, he could touch 100 with his fastball. And then just, he damn near steps off the mound, off the dirt, when he delivers it to you. Just like, he's so tall. I think he was 6'11" as they get a hit here. I think he was 6'11" or 6'10" or something like that. He was a huge human being. But Schultz here is 6'9", has that lefty pitching. His fastball is a little slow. Hopefully we can develop that over the coming years. But he's only 21 years old, 20 years old, so super young. So he's hopefully be able to be molded into exactly what we need from him, which is going to be probably not an ace right away, because we have Garrett Crochet still for a couple years. But after he goes away, but maybe he will turn into our everyday ace, as he's going to have to compete with our other pitcher. I'm going to have to... as he will have to compete with Drew Thorpe in the coming years as well. I do... that look for Drew Thorpe is probably be brought up next year into the majors. Definitely probably get promoted to AAA this year, depending on how well he does to start the year. Maybe after the All-Star break, after we have the draft and stuff like that, we'll see about moving him up. As the hitter here, Horn reaches for one out of the zone. We start him 0-2, and he's able to foul another one off. I would love to see if we, oh man, if we could get him up to 99 pitching velocity, or just 99 miles per hour on his fastball, he would be almost unhittable. Just that lanky form out there. Super excited about all our top 5 prospects. I mean, we have Colson Montgomery, our #1 prospect, who will probably get the call up at the latest September call-ups, if not earlier if he's having a great year. And then we have Edgar Cuero, who's the switch hitting catcher. He just seems like he's going to be a great catcher for us. Jacob Gonzalez at second base. And we have 2 good starting pitcher prospects, and Noah Schultz and Drew Thorpe. So the outlook for the White Sox over the next couple years is on the turn up. Just unfortunately, we give up a home run here on the 2-seam, down and inside on the knees. Not what you want to see. Not what you want to see in the prospect highlight. But we'll take that one for blame as they drive another one deep. We are able to make the play almost in the bleachers there. He ran probably 80 feet to make that play. That's awesome to see from our left fielder out there. So we've already given up a home run. Unfortunate to see. But luckily, we haven't given up anything else until now. Another hit. 1 out. 1 runner on in the top of the second. I'm not a huge fan of the 2-seam. Mostly because competitive. The 2-seam is a terrible pitch to have in your repertoire, just because the 2-seam doesn't really have much horizontal or vertical movement. It's just more, or it doesn't have diagonal movement like it does in real life. It just kind of putters along, and it's basically the same thing as a 4-seam fastball, but slower. So typically the benefit of the 4-seam fastball is it's faster than what they're anticipating, so they'll swing late. But if they do the same thing and it's a 2-seam, it's going to be a little slower, and they're going to be able to get their barrel into the zone with the timing, and it's going to be a little better for them. Just by happenstance, as being a little slower to the 4-seam, which in turn, for me, in my experience, turns into a lot more hits, as we've been seeing today. The home run off the 2-seam, the single there in the second inning off the 2-seam, both not great performances from it, but hopefully over the few years we can develop him and have a little bit more movement on it, and then maybe it'll be a little bit more competitive. But you can see even the pitch trail is just kind of flat and doesn't really have any dip or dive or curve on it. As they pop one up over the right, or the first baseman's head, right in front of the first baseman.
Not exactly a textbook decision to swing there, but he made it work. High pitch on a 2-strike count, and he did well to put
not having a great performance, which looks to be abnormal for him. Which if he performs well in the simulation, you really can't complain about that, because I mean, especially in our specific playthrough, we're going to be simulating a ton of games. I'm hoping to get through 20 to 30 seasons before we inevitably call it a close on the series, as we get a helping hand from the umpire on a strike that was a little bit out of the zone. But we were not able to make Hogan's chase there. I don't think he swung at a single pitch that at bat. So that's not great, as Horn is early on that one. But yeah, I'm looking to get through 20 to 30 seasons. I'm not even sure you can play that many. I have no idea, to be honest. As we get Horn to chase for another strikeout. Number 2 on the day, I do believe. We're looking to play a lot of seasons, get a lot of prospects through the majors, have some retire even, hopefully. That'd be pretty cool. Possibly make a own personal Hall of Fame with the players that have done really well for us throughout the franchise. And then inevitably, I think we'll be switching over to college football once it releases, hopefully in early June. That game, not that game specifically, but College Football 14 was one of my favorite games ever. And we will definitely be doing Dynasty mode on that. I will probably get sick of that game by how much I play it, but I'm so excited for it. So we have until then to play our franchise series, and I'll probably keep it going for some time after, but maybe not release it, 2 to 3 times a week, maybe just, once or twice or only once, just to keep it going. And then probably when the next game comes out, MLB The Show 25 next year, that's when we'll probably start a new franchise with a new team, maybe some new rules. I have a lot of ideas that I have to kind of flesh out, maybe in this season, kind of test out in this season, and do next year. I know this is my first video, or first series, but I'm already, planning on big things, and obviously someday this channel may get a lot of viewers, but being realistic, it's not going to get many. But I enjoyed it. I'm enjoying it right now, so why not go headlong into it?
1-1 pitch fouled away.
Definitely more enjoyable than just playing and just
And now the 1-2.
being a zombie and just looking at the screen and just doing it monotonously. It's definitely fun to just, talk about it.
That's a 1-out
Hopefully
single.
get the viewers involved and stuff like that in
And
different
first
ways.
one gone. The second
So I'm
baseman
super
fouled
excited
away.
to see what comes for the channel as we get a pop-up here to
Chappelle
second
gets
base.
under. Hauls it in, and there's 2 away. And now the
If we can
right
keep the
fielder
runs down here, hopefully we can go deep into the 7th inning. We're only
This
at
one is
64
in.
pitches
It's
right now.
0-1.
Hopefully we can there. They will
Pitch and
probably
down
limit
the
us
corner
to,
from first. Strike it
as they
there.
throw over top the big guy. As we get
And the inning is over.
an out on the steal there,
On that play,
our catcher with the cannon behind the plate. As we get a little highlight, a little pop, and a little tag right before he's able to touch the base as we get out number 3.
They're ready for the 5th inning. Now it's the right
Like I was
fielder.
saying, hopefully we can go deeper into this game.
First pitch, and it
Oh, that
just
was a
misses.
good pitch. Hopefully we can go deep into the game, into the 7th, hopefully.
Swing and a miss.
But we'll
Strike
see.
1.
Once you go into player lock mode, the AI manager
Cranked out to
is the
right
one who takes
center.
control of
Saddles
pitching
under,
movement and stuff.
and it's
So
up for the out.
they always like to limit the guys early, especially if they're not having a great game, which we've only given up 2 runs, which isn't terrible
That drops in for a strike.
by any means.
Late with the swing there.
If we make it to 7, it'll be around a 3-something ERA, which isn't, which is
Batter didn't
competitive.
have much of a chance to
As we
catch
get
it.
another strikeout there,
Swings and misses, struck him out. The
not
third
sure what number that
baseman
is on the
takes
day,
it
but it's
down.
at least 3,
Just missed.
hopefully 4 or 5. Ogins was the number 20th overall pick.
And another ball.
He's still in Double-A, not bad.
2-0 in for a strike.
I mean, he was only picked in 23, so I mean, he's in Double-A.
Now that's
At least he's
late
not in
to
A-ball,
right
is what I was
center.
meaning.
Makes the grab
Not
and
that he's
that'll
still
end the
in
inning.
Double-A. He should be in the MLB already, bro.
We're back
No.
here at the ballpark. And now the first
As the
baseman,
manager has let us go into the
38.
6th inning,
I'm not sure where that
as
one
we,
goes.
oh my goodness, that's a terrible call. Look at where that pitch is. It's, oh my goodness. That is a horrendous call there by the ump.
And it's 1-1.
So we get him to reach on that one. Fair play by Horn, giving us a strike because he knew that one should have been a
And it's
strike.
strike 2.
As he swings on that one up in the zone. Not sure they would have called that one strike though, so who knows.
Swing
Strike
and
number
misses.
3.
Strikes out for the third
Horn
straight
sat down again. I know he struck out twice this game. I hope he doesn't have that. Or I do hope he has that sombrero.
1-0.
The 3 strikeout hat. As they make a cut here.
Good
But they are
pitching
late
there, putting it a bit up
on
and
the
in on
pitch.
his hand so he can't
Every time I
extend
click square, I regret it.
That one's in there. And
But
the
after
count
that home
1-2.
run, I get so worried. I'm like, yeah, he's going to throw it into a freaking home run or
Slider
something again.
just misses.
But luckily, we were able to sneak it by him a few times. As he takes
Swinging
one
high
deep.
fly to left. On the move, glides
But we
back.
were able to make the play at the warning track. For out number 2 in the 6th inning.
That one's in there. That's strike 1. Chopper to the left side.
That's
Grabs
a
it foul.
little one hopper will go foul. And again, I'm terrified to throw his 2-seam.
Swings
But
and
we are
misses.
able to sneak it by him with another strikeout
It's a 1-2
here
inning.
at the end of the 6th inning.
Baroa on to pitch
And
on
they will bring in Prelander
He's still pretty
Baroa.
tight, so he has
Assuming
to
that's how you
grab
pronounce his
that
last name.
chance and keep it
But they will
close.
bring him in
No mistake
to
pitches.
for relief. As Noah Schultz has been relieved in the 7th inning.
And your final score here today, 2-1. On behalf of our entire
Not a terrible outing. Not a terrible outing, but not a great outing by any means. As Noah Schultz, excuse me, as Noah Schultz gets the loss. Unfortunate to see in our prospect overview or highlight of Noah Schultz, but he goes 6 innings, allows 1 hit per inning, but he strikes out more than 1. He walked 1, and he had 2 earned runs. Not a terrible day all in all. We were hoping for a little bit more run support from the guys, but they were only held to 1 run. They did have 8 hits, just weren't able to capitalize on anything throughout the game. So unfortunate there, but we did give up that 2-run home run. So it is what it is, but he did have a terrible game. So that's good to see. So switching back over here to the majors. I'm going to simulate up to the first game of the Twin series. We're getting to 32 minutes on this video, so I probably won't cover this. We'll probably cover scouting one more time, and then I'll probably cut it there, and then we'll come back, and in our next video we'll take a look at the next game we'll be playing. As Nick Nastrini has elbow tightness, we're going to keep him active. And Luis Robert is no longer injured as we auto-utilize him. I'm not sure if that means... Yeah, I think it means put him back to where he was. No, it does not. Not sure how. I think I had it set up like that. But he will be back in the lineup. He is only batting 133 through 30 at-bats. Not great. He does have 2 home runs. Yeah, not doing great. 664 OPS. Worst in his career so far. Again, he's only batted 30 times. So it's not the end of the world. But when he's your superstar player, you don't want him to start off cold. You want him to start off hot and stay hot. So we get another situation with John Brebbia. We are going for the save here against the Phillies. They're down 2 runs, 2 on. JT Realmuto at the plate. Everybody in the stadium sitting on their feet. As we get strike 1, looking there. Strike 2, looking as well. We go with the circle change and down and away to see if we can get him a swing. He does swing. We left it a little high. That was an unsure swing there by JT Realmuto, but he's able to foul it off. As he takes that fastball for an absolute ride, but luckily for us, it is foul. Swings at another and fouls it off. He's put up a good fight here at the plate as Brebbia's 16 pitches through. As Stassi saves a pass ball. Probably a run there. Definitely don't want to walk him, because if that's a walk, then we definitely have to get the out in the first at the top of the order. But we are able to strike JT Realmuto out as we fake Johan Rojas here in the 9-hole. Big moment for Rojas, 1 for 2 on the day as he takes ball 1. Does check swing, so he wanted it. As he pops up, flies out to Benintendi there in left field, and Brebbia is able to get the save. And the White Sox will put another win in the records books for this season, as we're able to come up to, I think that was our 7th win. We're still in single digits for sure, as John Brebbia gets his 4th save of the year. Crochet gets a win. He's 2-1 this year. Has a sub-3 ERA, 31 strikeouts. That is awesome to see. Take a look at the box score. Look at pitching. Garrett Crochet, 6 1/3, 2.85 ERA. Gave up 8 hits, 2 runs. Did strike out 5. So that is lovely to see. As we take another gander at scouting. As Luka Talbot fell off a freaking cliff. Unfortunate to see. Still has pretty good projected future. stats. So he's definitely worthwhile to take a look at. We do have the 42nd pick in the draft, and he fell to 42nd. But his draft rank in the MLB rankings is still 6. So depending on if people scout him or not, it'll be interesting to see where he ends up falling inevitably. As Pablo Gonzalez, the #1 overall pick, has fallen to 4th on our board. So that's pretty good statement of hits per 9. Even walks per 9 is good, but strikeouts per 9 is not good, as his fastball is not great either. I don't like him necessarily at all. Looking at these two here, pretty comparable. We'll go with Hanson because, again, I'd rather stay away from the relief pitchers and closing pitchers if I have to. But we'll see. As Rich Keith is here, Christopher Wolf has already been scouted. Restagee wasn't somebody we wanted. Not many players. This guy's Tim Flint's not bad. Has a lot of speed, contact as well. Fielding's pretty good. We'll probably scout him next, but we're going to go with Rich Keith as our next scouting. And we're going to leave our region for Central for a third baseman. Well, let's take a look at that, actually, see who recently scouted here. Not too shabby. The third baseman, Braden Hudson, moves up on our draft board through 15%. Lewis Harrison at 30%, 129. I do like this when they generically just do random people, because you can get a kind of a glimpse at a lot of players, which you may need down the line towards the end of the draft. Let's take another look here at the trade block. Looks like it's still pretty much the same guys. Don't see anybody that stands out. Personally, Trevor Rogers is good. I think we did take a look at him earlier on in the season, if I do remember correctly. Jorge Mateo at shortstop as well. Only 74 overall. Not having a great season. Has not had a couple good seasons at Baltimore, especially since they have Jackson Holiday in the waiting in the wings. I'm sure they won't bring him back next year. They have the chance to bring him in arbitration, so maybe they will and try to get a trade out of him. Or maybe they'll move him this year, like they are doing IRL. So we're going to get this last situation out of the way, but I think we're going to take a look at Jario Iriarte, our rookie that has got called up this year. We're going to take a look at him next game as we will play against the Twins in the second game of the series. As he takes strike one on the bunt there, doesn't get it back off the fastball. I want to keep this ball high, hopefully get him to pop up. I will just take the force. Well, we were going to take the force at first, but nobody's able to cover. Extremely unfortunate as they get a sac bunt down that turns into a single. Not what you want to see out of professionals. As they don't call the check swing at Carlos Correa. Bring count to 1-1. 1-2 there on the fastball that gets past him. No attempt to even swing at it. As we chuck a sinker in there to no avail. 3 fastballs on this guy. As he lines one to left field, we were able to make the play on it. That gives us out number 1.
Max Kepler at the plate. Just missed.
Well, this is a critical spot for both the pitcher and the hitter. You can learn a lot about a guy by how he handles these pressure situations.
That one catches the zone.
Another good fastball. Looks a lot faster than it is. It looks a lot faster than 90 miles per hour coming from this view. They pinch hit Kyle Farmer here. In the bottom of the 8th. 2 on, 2 outs. Try to get a front door slider in there, but it doesn't work. Throws it way too low. We brush him off the plate. Oh man, we're getting to a walk. Hopefully it doesn't work a walk here. We get the first strike to the bat. Kyle Farmer's batting 488. Curious how many at-bats it's through, but regardless, 48 is hard to do. There are 2 at-bats. You know, 500. Farmer's late there on the pitch. As he is able to rope one into the gap, as they will be able to score 2 and take the lead here in the bottom of the 8th. Farmer extends his good hitting streak, possibly puts him above 500 on the average. The White Sox allow 2 to score. Super unfortunate for us. Tim Hill, one of our 2 lefties out of the pen, was not able to stuff him here. Gives up the single off the bunt, and then gives up the double there. But we're ending the damage there with only 2 runs given up. We're down 1 as they are bringing in, no idea. Johan Duran makes his jog into the playing field. Johan Duran is a elite reliever. I forgot. Oh man, we accidentally finished the game, which is fine. We'll see if we can get a hit off his triple-digit fastball. Jeez Louise. It's a 92 splitter. Just the fact that he can throw a pitch at 92 and still get a lot of movement out of it is crazy. As we get one to shortstop, the Correa is able to make the play and he throws it across the diamond. And Benintendi is out at first. An amazing play over there at shortstop. Unfortunately, we're not able to make it on base. It's another fastball up. As you all know, I struggle with that pitch immensely. That is my kryptonite right there, that fastball. Up in the zone, right outside the zone. It all looks the same. Hard to lay off. As Valdez is able to make the play right in front of our bullpen. Eloy Jimenez comes up having 1 for 4 on the day. As Duran just pumps the fastball right past us at 101 on the gun. If these guys weren't professionals, I would genuinely ask, how in the hell are they supposed to hit that pitch? Sometimes I still do. And they still are able to hit it, 25% of the time, which is just insane. As we get a good rip on it, but Byron Buxton will be able to make the play on the warning track there in left field as the Twins sneak another one away from the White Sox. Tim Hill with the loss after giving up that 1 earned run. I guess that one's an error that they called. The bunt into not a single, it was an error. Interesting. Taking a look at the organization game, we have Jario Iriarte. So that's how you pronounce it. 1 and 2. It's a 5.8 ERA. 5.89 ERA. Looking at the roster, he is having an all-right year. He's giving up 20 hits. Okay, correction. Not having an all-right year, having a miserable year. Giving up 20 hits. Almost 6 ERA, 4 home runs, 9 passes. Not good from what you want from a new call-up. Drew Thorpe is having a great year so far. 0.89 ERA, 0.89 WHIP. 1-0 on the win-loss. 20.1 innings pitched. 22 strikeouts, so that's extremely good to see. Chad Kuhl, another good year. Jake Woodford, Brad Keller. We'll probably end up pulling up one of these guys in the next video. We're going to give Jario Iriarte another go to see if he can pull it together and reduce that ERA a bit. If not, we'll have to make the decision on if we want to bring up one of our AAA guys and send him down. Would hate to use one of his options, but he's so young I probably need to do it just to give him a little bit more time to develop in the minors. Not sure what the White Sox were thinking. I do think they have a lot of injuries right now, so maybe that's what it is, and maybe that's why their opening day roster is so crazy. And that will do it for us in this one, guys. If you wouldn't mind, leave a like and hitting that subscribe button. That would be huge for the channel. I appreciate you all tuning in. Be sure to catch the next episode, and I'll see y'all in the next one.